Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Baz and this is WELDERFABBER. Still feeling under the weather, like I said at the end of the last chapter. I have come in to just go out on a call out for SMP to do some lancing on another pin that they've got stuck in and they can't get it out. So Callum's off today, Tom's off today. I've got little Friday Frank on a first aid course, and Darren's in doing the ramp. There's a load of DTM lads off hill, and I'm going to head over to SMP to see what this pin is, just to give these lads a lift. They've only got one pin that's stuck in apparently, yeah, we'll get it lanced out for them and crack on with the chapter. Let's get over to SMP. So I've just landed at SMP, and as you can see, we've got a crane set up, rigged up. They're about to lift this down. Well, they've come to one pin that they can't move. As in the last chapter, we got these two pins moving. That one and that one. Put the arc slice right through. And there's just this one that they can't get moving. So we're just blowing all right through that. All the others are moving, M3. Blowing all right through that and get it moving. So again with the arc slice. You got Paul? So once again just use the arc slice to slice right through the pin and go up and down. If you're not too sure about how to use an arc slice, it'd be better going back to the last chapter, so I go into it in a little bit more detail on how it's done. Now they'll just get the crane rigged up. So we can get hold of the frame. There's Bobby again, he's not looking too well today. Are you not feeling well like me, Bobby?
We're alright, we'll get there. We'll get
there. Even Bobby's ill. So you see how we've gone right through the pin and up and down. And we've got the pin moved to a certain position now before we hook up to this frame with the crane. Should be a straightforward lift. Should be. But I'm going to hang about till all these pins are out now. Steady away. Millimetres.
Go on, go for it. You're about there.
I wonder if there's any weight on it at all. That's got to be into this eye now, hasn't it?
Well into that eye.
If that's into that eye, it's sound. Now we've got to do the same with the other three. And we had these moving in the last chapter, no problem. Let's just hope they move again now. And we'll put this big, whatever it is, on the ground. Well, they've got a power pack on it, looks like they're pulling the rams in. What's your plan, to pull that ram in? Yeah. To pull the ram in, yeah?
Yeah, like your scope is just that. We're not just been out now.
No problem. Good job we got a good man on hammer. Beautiful. Seeing if that bearing's alright.
Keep going, it'll take itself.
Anybody needs any lancing work doing, give us a call. We have all different size lancing rods from 6mm right up to 20mm. Has that dropped a bit? Has that dropped? So what they're going to do now is just lean it that way a little bit and knock this one last pin out. All on a good crane operator now. Is it out? That should just go straight up now then. See if it gets out at frame. Oh, there she goes. I'll have to come up nice and square though. Getting it unlocked from them eyes at the bottom. Seems to have caught on that backside a little bit. If them chains aren't quite in centre, which they probably are, if it leans one way slightly, it'll grab. There we go, there we go. It's going now. That's the one. These boys know what they're doing. That's my bit done. Back to the workshop. So I just got back to the workshop and this little 930H of Lee's has come in for the line boring on the hitch. If you remember a couple of chapters back we went out to site to look at it, didn't we? And these new pins, bushes and line boring on the hitch, and also needs the centre bearing sorting here. So I'll have to come up with a plan on what I'm going to do with this just yet. Might actually cut it off again like someone's done before and pull it out and slide it back in with a new bearing in it rather than splitting the whole thing apart. I'll get that pin out first and have a look what the damage is inside. So I'll put a shout out for the line boring, and Jake Marrow. I'm giving Jake Marrow a shot with the line boring. He's been wanting to do a bit for us for a while, so I thought now's a good time to try his skill set out, see where he's at. And I've just given him a call, and he's on his way down, so it's probably a couple of day job doing that hitch. But I'll let him explain exactly what he's going to do to it when he gets down here. Now then, we're actually 4-5 men down at the moment with this bug that's going about. Our Dan's been in bed for a week. I feel like I should be in bed myself. I feel like it's just getting worse and worse and worse. But anyway, we'll wait for Jake to come down and get him on camera and let him explain exactly what he's going to do. The boys are also on with the last bit of the ramp now for Metcalf. Right, Daz? No, I'm not, I'm dying.
I'm
dying. Is that fully welding now, that?
Yeah, that's fully welded now, dude. We're going to flip it over.
It'll have a big bow in that now.
Get the legs on.
It'll have a big bow in it with all that welding there. Yeah, can you see down that? Well, that'll pull back as we lay it on its back, so it's going to go down that way, and then the legs are going to come on this side here. And Friday Frank, he's starting to perform really well on that welder, ain't you, lad? Huh? Enjoying it?
Loving it.
Yeah?
Best job I've had.
Huh?
Best job I've had.
Best job he's had. Best job he's had.
First aid Frank now as well. Full-time Frank and first aid Frank.
Full-time Frank, first aid Frank. You're on a first aid course, weren't you, pal? We've yet to build something on my new bench there from Mac Industries, and we're yet to get all the attachment that go with it, all the squares and clamps and stuff that I'm going to put a big order in for. I've not just done it just yet. And we've just received an order for another wash ramp. I'll have to get this call. Yeah, so just going back to the wash ramp I just mentioned then, it's for a guy called Mike Keogh, if that's how you say it, Mike. He's down in Cornwall. So yeah, we've just agreed price. We're just changing a few dimensions up. It's only a 15-ton max capacity. So he's only putting 8 wheelers on it and units, so it won't be as heavy duty as the Metcalf one that they're on with at the moment. We can step it back to the same spec as the one we did for Steve over at MHD in Lincolnshire. So what I'll do, I'll get hold of Adam, the lad who does my drawing now. He does my drawing full time now, him. I'll get hold of Adam and get him to redraw it, recalc it to these different dimensions that I have. The only hard bit with this one is it's the ground that it's going on's on an angle. So I've told Mike to give me a lot of levels, so I'll give him the centres of all the bases, and he can basically dumpy level each position, and that'll that'll tell us how long the legs need to be, rather than just packing them, because I think there might be 100 mil in places, you know what I mean? So the legs will need to be a lot longer, which makes it a lot harder to fabricate, really. As long as the grid layout's right. So what I'll do, I'll get Adam to draw it, and then I'll send him the grid layout of where all the leg positions are, and then he can dump it all, spot them, mark it, and then we'll know the levels, to save me driving all the way down to Cornwall to do the levels myself. It's probably going to be a 6-hour drive down there. Once again, these guys want to paint it, and once again, these guys want to collect it. So that's a bonus for me. But again, that affects the price as well. You know, the price comes down when the customer does the collecting and the painting. About an extra £7,000, you know, to galvanise one of them, 7 or 8 grand. So when you give them the option, they decide to take the option of painting it themselves, which I'm quite happy with. Saves me messing about. And Callum's still off. Everyone's off. I should be off, but we keep fighting the good fight, don't we? That's coming together nicely now. Frank's just doing the cuts on the end. Cutting all right now, Frank?
Yeah, just about.
Yeah.
In there.
Yeah. We made these, just cut these plates on plasma, and they'll weld onto this piece here and bolt down to the floor. Well, let's see how the boys are getting on with the cat. So they've just done some boring outside, and now they've just pulled it in to do the welding on it. You got some proper tackle, Climax. That is the best tackle that you can get, really, when it comes to line boring. And here's Jake and his own man.
How you doing, Paul?
I'm good, pal, how are you?
Yeah, all good. Just set it up now, and then we're away welding.
So you've already done a bore?
Yeah, we've bored it to get it, clean metal. So when we come to weld it, it's a neater weld. It's a nicer weld. We'll put a couple passes in, and then we'll line bore it back to size.
How many passes do you reckon it'll need?
Probably 3.
3 passes?
Three passes.
Yeah.
3 passes, Baz.
I'd have said 3, 4, something like that, and then flush it off.
I've got an idea, and we'll put the first one in.
Yeah. These eyes are just as bad down here, aren't they?
Yeah, they're just as bad. So we'll line bore that again, take that boss off. So it's
I'm on there.
so it's not intermittent, if you get me.
Yeah. I mean, everywhere that you look at this is worn.
Yeah.
So you've got to know when to draw the line. Do you know what I mean? And the customer just wants the main loader arms doing. So, which is what these guys are on with now. How long have you been doing this job, Jake?
Right, 3 years now. Portable machining. Line boring, welding. We do flange facing, on-site key weighing. So yeah.
So you're getting into it in a big way.
Yeah, we go all over.
I mean, I fancied dabbling at it myself, but I just thought, just get lads in who know what they're doing. Do you know what I mean? There's a few boys out there doing it now, isn't there?
Exactly, yeah.
You've got to know what you're doing.
We do it day in, day out.
Tell us about this Climax stuff you got.
So we got it. It's a 2013 model. Yeah. So yeah, we've got 3 modes. There's auto skip mode, pie mode, and carriage return mode. You can set it so it can do, keyways. You can make it, go in different directions. Just like, say you got an oval hole, you can set it so it can just weld the one area.
Can you?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, this is best tackle at market, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's the biggest welding set.
What kind of money are they?
Right, 25 grand brand new.
Are they?
Brand new, yeah.
Right. You're just about to put some runs in there now.
Yeah, 3 passes, and then we'll stick the Climax back on the borer.
Yeah. So these lads will be here, a couple of days?
Yeah, a couple of days.
Couple of days of a job.
Go back to the workshop tomorrow, make the bushes.
Yeah.
2 pins.
So they'll go back and make their own bushes and make their own pins. So that's good that they're not buying in, they're making it all themselves. You know what I mean? British company. What's this set then?
That's your inverter. It's my XMT 350. It supplies your power to your Climax,
Right.
to your control panel. it's all set for this job. So I'll adjust the the wire speed when I need to.
We'll let him get set up and we'll get some footage of it welding.
Melted.
Right, pal. So these are the 2 pins out of the loader arms. See how much wears there, can't you? And the flag's broken off that one. So like Jake said, he'll go away and make 2 new ones of them, and we'll make the flags for him on the plasma. New day, and I'm feeling 95% better. Yeah, I mean, what a couple of weeks we've had there really with illness, bugs, and flu. Heavy dose of flu. Lost a stone in weight there as well. Anyway, new day, and I'm just looking at what we've got coming up now. We've got the cat loader to finish off. Jake's coming back today to put the headstock back on. He's done all the line boring and the welding. He's made the bushing and he's made the pins. So we'll get the headstock back on the 930. And we've just received an order from Mike at Glebe Quarry down in Cornwall. So that is another wash ramp, a 15-ton wash ramp capacity. So it'll be for like 8-wheelers and skip wagons and stuff like that. I think they're a bit of cushion and screen, these men, as well. So what I mean by order, I mean deposit in the bank, and that is half of the wash ramp up front. So that covers all your cost of materials, etc. moving forward. We have got the Volvo to go back out to and do the repair that Callum went out to a couple of chapters back. It had a crack on the beam, didn't it? And it had like a spider's web crack on the top plate. So I'm planning on taking the top plate off underneath where the ram bracket is, skinning it on the inside, and then we'll put another skin on the outside. Just S355 will be fine with that. It's only a small section, about that much needs cutting out of the top of the boom. But it's a bit tricky because it's where the ram brackets are. So I'll go with Callum and do that with him. And the lads are just finishing off the wash ramp for Metcalf, and then I'm just going to order the material for the next one for Glebe Quarry. So I mean, wash ramps, I wasn't really a big fan of doing them, were I? But now it's got to the point where if you've got lads in the workshop to box them and get them out quick, then they are actually quite a good job to do. You know, so if it's the lads who are doing them, Frank and Darren, they seem to like doing them. So if the orders keep coming in, then I'll just keep taking them and doing them, and then that frees me and Cal up to do a bit of the site work side of things, going out on site. So we've got some work at HML to do. We've got some work at Howard Stocks to do, The bucket for Howard Stock, that is coming up. People were asking about that in the comments. That bucket is still going ahead for Howard Stock for the big machine. We're just waiting to actually start it. I reckon we'll be starting it in a couple of weeks' time. So we've got to do a bit more design work on that and look at the material that we're going to use. Will be full hard ox though, and the hanger bracket. Now then, a Lenoff hanger bracket, you can only really buy that from Lenoff, so I'll get that from Worsley Plant, who are a Lenoff dealer. Yeah, so I think the hanger bracket itself, it's about £3.5 grand. So that just tells you what cost is going to go into the bucket build. It never stops. So it is going to be a big bucket, and I think Howard might be now looking for two big buckets. So the first buckets really are going to be big buckets, 50 tonnes anyway. So that's where we're at the moment. Jake should be back any time to put this headstock back on. I don't think we spoke about this yet, have we? Check that out. We'll go into that into a little bit more detail later on. So we're still waiting for the headstock to come back. So we've got the machine out, we took the prop off. We're just going to take this centre pin out now. And then we're going to gouge that plate off there. Cut that where it was cut before. And take that out. And replace that centre bearing and see if there's any damage to the housing of the bearing. It should be easier for us doing that than splitting the whole machine. Only a quick gouge with that plate, cut it in half. And then rebuild it. We just had some more steel coming from Higgs and Edwards, steel stock holders. They're 14 metre lengths of 150x75 PFC. And I've got some cut to length there from a 12 metre length. And on the plasma here now, we've got a 15mm sheet on the plasma. Because what we're doing, we're making some extra legs for the wash ramp at Metcalfe's. So we're using two 254 UBs, universal beams, with a base plate and a top plate and some gusset plates, all cut out of 15mm. And all this is an extra support to put in when the wagon drives up the ramp and you've got the crane on it and you've got all that weight at the front end. This is basically an extra safety leg in case anybody drives up the ramp with the wagon loaded. I mean, it should never happen, but you never know. You have to make these things go over the top with them, basically. You know, so that's that. We've now got the centre bearing cut out of the 930. Luckily, the housing is all intact. The bearing's destroyed with inside, so we'll replace all that. We've got all new bearing parts off Cat. Lee actually supplied these from LN. The cap's worn away as well, so it's a good job we got new caps. That side there, it's all worn and broke away. and we've just got that to rebuild. We're going to take that plate off the underside, and then we'll weld 2 new plates on as we weld that back on. These are the legs, heavyweight UCs. Now then, the forces on them, the weight that can go on them is immense. I don't know the exact number, but I won't say it, but it has been calculated, and so I will be able to let you know what weight can go on them. The actual ramp itself is maxed out to a 30 ton weight. So Cal's just programming it into the plasma now. And they'll cut all them within a couple of minutes.
Right, so let's just see how this 15mm cuts.
Right, now then, let's have a little haulie update. As you know, I've now been taking haulie now for nearly 12 months. And Haulie have decided to take it to the next level with WELDERFABBER. As we've got WELDERFABBER shakers. So, what can I say about Haulie? Well, you do know that I've been ill for the last 3 weeks, don't you? And I think a big advantage of being ill was using Haulie whilst I was ill, especially the milkshakes, which are full of vitamins. Yeah, and the hydration drinks. I mean, we had lads off for 3 weeks, I was off for a week. So that tells you something there, doesn't it? So if you've never had Haulie before, the first thing I'd do is try the starter pack. It has a variety of different flavours in it. Get your Haulie WELDERFABBER shaker, WELDERFABBER 5 promo code for £5 off, and then WELDERFABBER on all future orders for 10% off. In the link in the description, you'll see a link to all my favourite flavours. So get one of my limited edition shakers with your first starter pack, or you can buy one anyway on future orders. Another thing I'd like to add is I've saved an absolute fortune in the time that I've been drinking Haulie. Now that is a major thing within itself, and I'm talking thousands. Try it today and change your life. So I've just nipped over to Miller's Recovery with Miller Blue. And Dan the man is doing the inspection. I'll have one down and see how he's doing. There he is, main man.
Oh, here he is.
How are we doing, lads? How's the van?
Oh, peach. Absolute peach, mate.
Yeah.
Minter.
Still like a new one.
Oh, yeah, we smoke tested it, that's alright. Keep everybody happy.
That's the one.
Yeah, she's minter, mate. She always is, to be fair. Always clean.
Yeah.
What we like. Nice and clean.
We're only on about 23,000 miles, isn't it?
Something like 23 and a half. Yeah, she's done absolutely. Smoke, mate. Show truck, this.
What is it? Is it every 12 weeks or every 10 weeks, this?
I think you set on every 12, I think, mate, on
Every
schedule.
12.
I think it's every 12 on schedule. We'll have to check, to be fair, Baz, but yeah. With the mileage you do, mate, 12 is more than...
Yeah, so Dan messaged me yesterday saying, Baz, don't forget your van's in tomorrow. I had forgot. I need a chart on my wall, don't I, saying when the van's in for inspection, etc. So now we'll just do a brake test on it. And that's it, job done. That's just took like an hour and a half. Alright, you're right, Dan. I even more like your jumper. Only down.
We're on it here. We don't mess about.
So this is one of my pals, yeah, and he's got an Instagram account and he does a really funny daily story, so I'll put a picture on screen now of his Instagram. But it's not for the kids. It's not for the kids. It's not for the kids, is it, Dan?
Hey, I did well before. I said my F word on yours and I said, oh no, I've got to say flipping instead.
Yeah.
PG me now, lad.
Can't swear on WELDERFABBER.
PG.
Anyway, we'll get our brake test and then back to yard. So these are the legs for Metcalf, nearly completed. And the low loader is about to turn up any time to collect the two sections outside. So there's no IAB coming this time. They're going to send an actual, either a low loader or a flatbed, I'm not too sure until it turns up. They were too long for the 8-wheel flats that they had. As they're probably about 11.5 metres long, these. So as soon as they land over at Metcalf, they'll blast them and then paint them. In fact, I'll put a little picture on screen now of the red ones, of the flat ones that have just been painted. The guys over at Metcalf have done a good job of them. The loader is about to have its hitch put back on. We've put the centre bearing back in the plate that we gouged off and cut off. So we'll get that nicely lined up, Bonnie, with the hole and the bearing with the pin in it before we actually weld it back to this. Make sure it's all nice and plumb. So when we took the old one apart, it had seals missing out of it. It had grease seals missing out of it, so that's a little indication probably why it's failed so fast since it got done before, because the top plates aren't that worn. I'll show you now. So as we put it back together, there was no seal. See that seal there? There was no seals within these here. There should be a seal in that one there as well. So them bearings are pushed in there nice. And they've got nice spaces in, little spacer there to keep it to the correct distance where it needs to be. So Cal's already put a prep on. So now he'll weld a plate to the underside of this and use it as a backing plate before he puts it back on the machine. Now then, the old caps didn't have seals in them. So you got 1, 2, and then these should have seals in them like this. See how we put seals in there? You got your 2 bearings inside there, but these didn't have seals in, so and they don't look that old, them. We've got seals in, new bearings. We'll clean that up a little bit more, put a plate underneath, and then we'll attach that back to the machine outside. So that loader will be ready to go back to the customer today. And I've just had a message on my phone from Shindawa. So I'll play you that footage now.
So Tom, first 400 in the UK. This one is actually going to Baz, right? Hiya Baz, hope you're well. Really sorry you can't be here at the Executive Eye Show, but this is your baby. This is your new machine, the new Eco 400. So this is the very one that you're going to get, Baz. So as you can see, it's a dual operator machine, digital setting current. So you've got the ability to have 2 times 200 amps, or in single, you can have up to 400 amps of power. CCCV, so we've got CCCV, gouging mode, TIG mode, and CC for stick welding, and then you've got your big 3-phase generator, so it's a big step up from the Eco 300. Another feature, Baz, we've also got wire feeder connections. So when we deliver it, you're going to have the Shindawa wire feeder to connect into it, and you're going to be able to control the machine from your wire feeder, so be able to turn your volts up and down and do all the controls at the job site rather than having to walk backwards and forwards to the machine. Kubota engine. So it's a D902 engine, bit of a step up from the one in the 300, but plenty of power there. So Baz, we can't wait for you to come and pick it up. Come down to our place in Wolverhampton. So we'll look forward to seeing you soon.
So there's some exciting things coming from Shindawa there, looking at that video. And I can't wait to get my hands on that. And that will be in the next 2 weeks that we get that 400. We'll make a frame and we'll put it into Bella Blue. Now then, they are just doing some alterations to it at the moment, specifically for us, because if you notice within that video where the sockets are on the welder, they'll be against the headboard. So Shindawa are actually making a new box to go on the front of the welder, so we can plug all our things in that we need to plug in, like the 110, 240 and 3-phase. And I've just received an email for a lad called Lee Moffat, and he's a tutor at Bury College, class M1. So he's been using our videos within college to show pupils certain things that we do. So I don't really give shout outs to him, but I'll give one to this guy because he's actually showing the younger generation things that we do. So cheers Lee, appreciate that, and a big shout out to all the lads in M1 at Bury College. And Cal's just turned up. You alright, son? And the boys have just landed from Metcalfe. So I think we'll put... It's not a stretch trail, that is it, bud, or is it?
No.
No? Huh? I'm thinking we'll just put the start of the ramp section here and let it run along. Land onto the back. Well, we'll come back to this once they're loaded. And we'll go over to Metcalfe's yard in probably 2 weeks' time to install the whole ramp. So that's the hitch hole back, buttoned up and back on now, greased up. And the centre bearing is complete. I think it would actually be easier doing it that way than actually splitting it apart. You know, taking that, just cutting that plate and doing it the way we did it, than splitting the whole thing apart, trying to get that top pin out. Might be a pain. So it's not a bad way of doing it anyway, but anyway, that's all boxed off, ready for Lee to come and pick it back up. So we've got a good little chapter buttoned up here now. So cheers guys, thanks for watching, I'll catch you on the next one.